The elimination of high-ranking Russian military leaders will prevent the Russian Federation from planning certain actions at the front. This was stated by Alexey Getman, a veteran of the Russian-Ukrainian war, a reserve major, on air on Radio NV. In the army, when a commander is killed, an acting one is immediately appointed. That is, it is not like they will be left completely without leadership, but a new person must take over the case. Figure it out. This complicates the work of the unit. All these soldiers who were destroyed testify to how successfully our GUR, SBU or SSO, who directly participated in the preparation, can work. We understand that they arrived when they needed to. It was not just luck. Intelligence worked, knew where and when they would gather, said Getman. At the same time, he added that such liquidations also cause fear in Putin himself. After all, he sees how the special services work. Mossad is resting. Putin must understand that according to the law, he is also our legitimate target, and I am sure that sooner or later he must also be destroyed. Earlier it became known that Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy Mikhail Gudkov was killed in the Kursk region. According to the Russian side, 10 war criminals were killed in the strike. Many of them were senior officers, the new brigade commander, his deputies, battalion commanders and service chiefs. In addition, the day before, the Ukrainian armed forces struck the command post of the 8th Combined Arms Army of the Russian Armed Forces in the temporarily occupied territory of Donetsk Oblast. Such an attack significantly complicates the enemy's ability to plan and conduct operations in the directions of Pokrovsk and Toretsk. The Ukrainian Defense Forces will continue to consistently destroy the command and control system and communications of the armed forces of the aggressor country. Ukraine continues to fight until all Russian troops are withdrawn from the territory of our state and a fair and lasting peace is established, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine noted.
Before boarding Air Force One to fly to Iowa, President Donald Trump made his first public comments about his administration pausing weapons transfers to Ukraine. "We've given so many weapons," he said. "We are working with them and trying to help them." But he suggested that his predecessor provided too much. "Biden emptied out our whole country giving them weapons, and we have to make sure that we have enough for ourselves," he said. According to Associated Press, Trump said he and Russian President Vladimir Putin talked about Iran and the war in Ukraine during a pretty long call Thursday morning. He said he didn't make any progress on a deal to end the fighting in Ukraine. "I'm not happy about that," Trump said. "I didn't make any progress with him today at all." Trump spoke to reporters before boarding Air Force One at Joint Base Andrews on Thursday, congratulating GOP leadership in Congress for passing Trump's big tax bill. "It's going to make this country into a rocket ship," Trump said of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
And perhaps a lot of you are going with us. How are you? And we have a very big crowd, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're sort of celebrating like the biggest bill of its kind ever signed. And it's going to make this country into a rocket ship. It's going to be really great.
Mr. President, he met with a lot of House Republicans yesterday. What got them to yes?
I think when you go over the bill, it was very easy to get him to a yes. You know, we went over that bill, and point after point, biggest tax cut in history, great for security, great on the southern border. Immigration is covered. We covered just about everything. Again, it's the biggest bill ever signed of its kind.
Mr. President.
Some House Republicans that were concerned about the bill said that they had conversations with you where you made some comments. What comments did you make? Did you tell Representative Bly that he should have some action on gun rights? What sort of deals did you make with those?
Well, I talked to a lot of different Republicans in doing it, and we had a good time in being there. I did not have much of a problem with any of them. As you know, we had 2 negative votes, but we had whatever it was, the final vote. Yeah, I think a few of them I did, but I think they would have gone yes anyway. No deals, no deals. What I did is we talked about how good the bill is. I mean, that's a deal, I guess, when you think about it. But obviously convinced him. But it was not hard. This is a great bill. This is going to be a great bill for the country.
Congressman Ryan Fitzpatrick was one of two notes to vote no to this beautiful bill. Do you want to primary him too?
Well, I was disappointed that he did that. There were two of them that voted no, so I was disappointed that he voted no.
Mr. President,
we had a call. It was a pretty long call. We talked about a lot of things, including Iran, and we also talked about, as you know, the war with Ukraine, and I'm not happy about that.
Mr. President,
No, I didn't make any progress with him today at all.
Mr. President, how much growth can the country expect from the one?
I think we're going to get great growth. I think we'll have growth at record numbers. This is going to be something that's amazing, and everybody was watching it all over the world. And I want to congratulate the Speaker and Tom Emmer and Steve Scalise and everybody else. I mean, they worked so hard, so hard. This has really been going on for over a year, if you think about it. I think, to be exact, about 14 months. And this was the culmination, and I guess it ended a lot earlier. A lot of people thought it would end up the following afternoon. Well, it ended up late in the evening, but they were great. They were great.
What do you think is bad?
And by the way, on the Senate side, I thought Senator Thune did a fantastic job.
What do you think it says about the power you amassed within your party compared to your first term that you were able to get this over the finish line?
I think I have more power now. I do. You know, I could say, oh, gee, I don't know. I think I probably do because we've had a great record of success. You know, my first term was very, very successful. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. I think we're going to blow it away this term. But, you know, we've proven certain things, and yeah, I think probably it's got more gravitas, more power. They're going to be very proud tomorrow. So we're signing at about 5 o'clock, and at about 5 o'clock we're going to have B-2s and F-22s and F-35s flying right over the White House. And the Speaker and I and John Thune, we're all there together with most Republican senators and congressmen and women, and it's going to be a great day. So we'll be signing with those beautiful planes flying right over our heads.
Why did you pause weapons shipments to Ukraine? Why did you pause weapons shipments?
We haven't. We're giving weapons, but we've given so many weapons. But we are giving weapons, and we're working with them and trying to help them. But we haven't. You know, Biden emptied out our whole country giving them weapons, and we have to make sure that we have enough for ourselves.